Have you been struggling with infertility due to PCOS or endometriosis? Despite the fact that so many women are facing these challenges, there's still hope. And today, we're diving into how Chinese herbal medicine can restore balance and support your fertility naturally, even if you're suffering from these conditions. Did you know that PCOS and endometriosis are leading causes of infertility, impacting countless women? We're talking about roughly 1 in every 10 women of reproductive age from each of these groups. So these conditions ultimately disrupt hormonal balance, leading to different types of problems like irregular periods, painful periods, heavy periods, just to name a few. And they all get in the way of fertility. While symptoms certainly may feel insurmountable, you can regain control when we're able to address the root causes. So let's briefly take a moment to discuss how Chinese herbal medicine actually does this. So, according to traditional Chinese medicine, one of the key components when we're talking about PCOS is a condition we call phlegm dampness. So, what does phlegm dampness mean? It means that your body is really unable to get rid of the waste products, they accumulate, and then they ultimately can form into things like cysts, much like a sink that's not draining properly. And when this happens, you might feel things like heaviness, bloating, fatigue, and you may notice irregular cycles or cysts forming. Whereas with endometriosis, we're dealing with a different underlying pattern that we call blood stasis. And some of the hallmark symptoms of blood stasis is painful periods, dysmenorrhea, or heavy periods, very heavy periods. And so, when we address these underlying root causes properly using very specific Chinese herbal medicine formulas, we're able to balance hormones, we're able to improve egg quality, and ultimately support implantation potential. And here's where consistency is key. I would say on average within 1 to 3 months, you really start to feel better and symptomatically you're improving, while deeper lasting changes usually take more like 3 to 6 months of time. And if you're curious to see if our treatments can specifically help you, we've designed a quick 1 minute quiz that you can find a link to in the description below. You take it, and you'll get all the information that you need to know how to move forward. Now, I'd like to take a moment to tell you about a patient of mine from a few years ago named Adrian. Adrian, unfortunately, suffered with a high stage of endometriosis and had already suffered multiple failed attempts with IVF. She had already chosen to freeze some of her eggs in preparation for her next IVF cycle. So we worked together to prepare her body for the best possible outcome. Now, I should mention, Adrian, she suffered from high levels of anxiety as well. So we really needed to do two things for her. We needed to calm her nervous system, bring down the anxiety, and we also needed to strongly reduce inflammation in the pelvic area in order to create the most fertile environment possible. After incorporating our treatments, not only did she prepare her body for IVF, but she went on to conceive twins. So, the combination of our Chinese herbal medicine treatments and the IVF turned out to be the winning combination for her. And her story is just another example of how effective Chinese herbal medicine is for fertility, even when you've got complicated underlying conditions such as endometriosis or PCOS. And I would say another important thing that's worth highlighting is that when we treat these women, or sometimes men as well, for their fertility issues, it's not just that they become more fertile, but many other things for them tend to get better along the way. They tend to see, I have more energy, improved circulation, balanced hormones, regular cycles, reduced inflammation. They all contribute to things like better mood, better sleep, better energy. Things just tend to get better. When the whole body and the mind works together in harmony, fertility naturally improves along with your overall health. And this comprehensive approach might just be the missing link. So now that you're aware of how Chinese herbal medicine can treat fertility related to things like endometriosis or PCOS, you're going to want to know how to enhance egg quality naturally. Click the video on the screen, and I'll show you now.